Well, there you have it. The St. Louis Rams upset the Seahawks in St. Louis. Um, Not much to say. Not much to say. Um, I have been saying. I don't know if I said it in my videos or not, but my my general my general conception of the whole thing going on here is that, or my perception, excuse me, is that there's no need for us to worry. I signed on to the sentiment that there's no need to worry yet. We lost to who? We lost to the Cowboys, who have only lost one game. We lost to the Chargers, who only lost one game. We lost to two teams who are playing well. Any need for panic? No. I did say that if we found a way to lose this game today, then it's time to start worrying. It is completely and totally understandable to begin to panic now. And I'm panicking. I'm not throwing in the towel, of course. I mean, I'm never taking my jersey off. But now it's time to worry. Now it's okay to panic. We weren't able to dispatch a team that is at the bottom of the barrel, regardless of how good they are on defense, regardless of that they play in the NFC West. They are a bottom feeder team, and we were unable to dispatch them. Doesn't matter if it's at their house. Unacceptable play. Once again, offensive troubles continue. Defensive troubles continue. Special teams troubles this time. I mean, what is it about the Rams? The last 2 or 3 years in a row, the Rams have made fools of us on trick plays. Just the Rams. The Rams, they used trick plays on us over the last 3 years, if my memory serves me correct. The St. Louis Rams have done a very good job of making us look like fools on the field with trick plays. It was either last year or the year before that they were going to kick a field goal. We had held them to a field goal down the red zone, close to the goal line, and they ran a receiver. I'm not sure who it was. Had him standing right by the sideline on the line of scrimmage, but on the side, like he was in the field of play, but standing right next to the sideline, one of the 11 players on the field. And when they snapped the ball, the holder just picked it up and threw it to him, and he ran in for a touchdown. That was by the Rams. I think that was 2 years ago. I think last year they may have done a fake punt or fake field goal on us. And then today, then they not only get away with the fake punt, when we had just forced, I just said, all we have to do is, I put on my Facebook, all we have to do is this defense that's made us who we are today just has to come up and make us out. This great defense that has put the Seahawks on the map, the great defense that they are, the LOB, all that shit, all they got to do is come up with one stop, and this game should be ours. They come up with the stop, and we give it up on the fake fucking punt. Jeff Fisher's been doing this to us for 3 years. Not to mention the kick return, the punt return. I don't know. They take Austin to one side of the field, the opposite side of the field. The ball's actually going. That was actually ingenious. But I mean, Seahawks, where's your head at? I guess it was good. I can't really get mad at him about that. I don't think that was a great play. Offensive penalties, pre-snap penalties continue. Carpenter, I don't think for the first time this season, I don't think we called Russell Okung's name today in a negative fashion. Thank you, Russell. It's about time. But Sweezy, Carpenter, Bailey took a touchdown off the board with one of his penalties. I think Carp may have done one too, or at least a big play. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I don't know if it's a lack of I mean, sometimes the guys don't even look inspired when they're out there on that field. I don't know what it is, but whatever. Now, I will say we played much better in the second half. The second half was Seahawk football, but we were already so far in the hole. I mean, what do you want us to do? The first half of these games are just uninspired play. I don't know. Watch the tape, see what worked in the second half, and start doing it in the first half. Or maybe they just got tired and the same stuff we were doing the whole time was working. No, that's not even the case, man, because we were going down the field in the second half. We were hitting routes in the seam. We were hitting, everything was working much better. Now, they were playing off. They were playing off a bit, so those same type of short routes were working to our favor a little better because the Rams' secondary was playing off in the second half. But still, Russell Wilson I love that Russell Wilson busted that big run. That was Russell Wilson putting the team on his back. Putting the team on his back, and I love that run because Russell tends to want to, get down or get out of bounds as soon as possible, which is okay. I'm okay with that too. But this time Russell said, fuck it, I'm going. And he went as far as he could. 50-something yards. That was great. Great play. Defense is struggling. Defense is not making any plays. We're not getting any turnovers. We're not getting we're nothing. It seems like we're one step behind. We're one step behind on every game. Every game, with the exception of the Green Bay game, we seem like we're just one step behind. We're consistently just one half step behind everything that's going on in front of us, or behind us, or around us. I don't know what's changed. Well, I do know what's changed. I told you guys about it before. Had some fellow 12s didn't necessarily agree with me, but I'm telling you, it's changed because our front line changed, and I think it's because of Red Bryant. I think it's the absence of Red Bryant. I wholeheartedly believe that the absence of Red Bryant, and again, other things too. Chris Clemens not being there. The rotation is different, but we're not getting any pressure on the quarterback. I don't even know if we sacked old boy today. It just seems uninspired. It just seems uninspired. Did we really regress that much? Did we regress? I mean, coming into the season, it was general consensus that the Seahawks have gotten better since February, not worse. And our performance thus far couldn't be more in the antithesis to that statement. Couldn't be more opposite. We're monumentally worse than we were in February. Maybe this will get fixed up. We just had a big turmoil with the Parsley Harvin thing. I don't think that could have had much to do with it. I don't know, man. I'm glad that Marshawn got the ball a lot more. That seemed to help, but it still seemed that we were getting. It's the pre-snap penalties really more than anything on offense. I mean, even if we give up points on defense, all those drives that we went 3 and out and ended up having to kick the ball away because on a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 6, we end up getting a false start penalty or a holding penalty. I'm worried now. Now I'm worried. I wasn't worried before. I say that with absolute confidence, and I'm not even beating around the bush. I wasn't worried before. Even with the loss to Dallas, I wasn't worried. Lost to San Diego, I wasn't worried. Wasn't worried. I knew that we hadn't hit our stride yet, and those games, they happen. We're not going to win them all. I knew we weren't going to go undefeated, but we have now lost 3 games out of our first 6. 3 games. We have met our complete total of losses from last season. We've met our loss total from last season at 3. 3. I hope Denver wins tonight. So, our first division game of the season is a loss. That's not going to help us out when we got Arizona winning games. You got San Francisco winning games. We need these division wins. When it comes down to the tiebreakers, that game's gonna come back and haunt us. Even if we get our shit on track and play, out of our mind the rest of the season, I promise you that win's gonna come back and bite us. Best case scenario, that win comes back to bite us. And I'm assuming that we're gonna get our shit on track and not, lose 7 games. I'm saying even if we start playing lights out the rest of the season, that loss today is gonna come back and bite us. That loss is gonna come back and bite us. We're gonna end up tied with tied for a playoff spot, maybe even first round bye. It's not over yet, but we're gonna end up tied for some playoff implication. We're gonna end up tied with Frisco or Arizona, and that loss right there to the Rams is gonna come back and get us. Maybe not keep us out of the playoffs, but mess up our seeding in one way or another. Well, hey, big up to the Rams. Big up to Jeff Fisher and whoever their fucking offensive coordinator is. Um, they got us. They got us. We got to go on the road again next week. Another morning game. We get to go all the way to the East Coast to play Carolina. Another strong defense. Oh, hopefully we can get it on point. That's all I got. Go Hawks.